Right, oh. Hello everyone, Joel, Devon Dice here, and I'm with
Isaac.
Clanking Teeth Isaac. And a
Clanking?
That's what you do. Anyway, yeah, what are we going to do? What are we up to?
We're going to be open.
Show it.
Cool.
Lift it up. What is it? What we got? What have we got? Let's get it right the right way. It's a big box. Cool Runnings. Yeah. We got this from Meeple's Corner last night. So we're going to open it up and see what you get in this.
Ice.
Oh no. Stop spoiling it. We're going to open this up and see what we get inside this cool looking box, aren't we?
We need some ice.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, please. It all helps very much if you can do that. Just click the subscribe button. I think it's that side. That way, that way, that way.
No, it's down below. So like
down, yeah, you know.
Like that.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, okay? So Isaac's going to open this first, aren't you? So let's describe the box first. What we got? So it's an unusual shaped box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey?
And it's bigger than I thought.
It's bigger.
Cubes.
So it's cube shaped, isn't it? A bit like an ice cube, isn't it? So it's actually mimicking an ice cube, yeah? So we've got Cool Runnings there, we've got a distressed looking ice cube, and then on the back, what we got on the back? On the back there, what's happening in the game, yeah?
Yeah.
Actually uses ice cubes on the front here, so 8 to 99 years old, 2 to 4 players, and plays in about 30 minutes. Also,
Yeah,
the
but
designer
I'm not old
is
enough.
Oliver Malley, and this is from Ravensburger.
You can just do that.
Alright, so it opens up lid-like shape, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So then you also then open it up like that.
Yeah.
Boom! So what we got on top?
We've got
The rule book.
The rule book.
Instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the instruction book. What we got in here?
We've got.
Oh, so the front is spill manual, German. So hopefully there's some English rules in here. Hold on. Yeah, English. No. No, that's French. Spanish. Oh, we got English. We have got English. Yay!
Where is English?
And then the last one is Netherlands. So, which is pretty good. What we got next?
Got the board for to put stuff on.
Mm-hmm. So we've got some player boards. Slightly concerned by the looks of that. Anyway, ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
It's a bit tight, isn't it? Yeah, they are. So you've got several boards. So this must be the finish line. What's it feel like, Isaac?
it feels plastic.
You like plastic, doesn't it? Yeah. Because we're dealing with water and ice, so they have to make these boards out of plastic. Yeah.
We've got.
So what we got there?
We've got cups to hold the ice in.
I think they're for making the ice.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
These feel rubber. Daddy, these feel rubber.
Do they?
Yeah, they feel rubber.
Oh, it's probably to help make the ice. So you make a couple of ice at a time.
And the next thing is we've got.
So what's next one we got? They're the player cups to hold the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take those out. Hold them up. And show them inside. So yeah, turn so look inside it. Yeah, so it's got gaps in there, look. Then what you do, get one of these. Now put your cup inside. So put your cup inside that. No, turn it around. Turn it around, that's it. Okay, there you are. So you put that on. You can put that on the game board. The ice sits in there. Yeah. Looking. You're not even looking. Look at me. Look at me. So you put the ice in there, yeah, sits in there and it moves around, and as the ice melts, it goes into the cup at the bottom, yeah?
Why?
Well, the ice is going to melt. You don't want it melting over the game board, do you? So it's just going to...
have to melt.
Yes, you want it to melt.
Why?
Why?
So what?
That's how you try and stop people from winning. So we've got a pink one, yeah?
We've got
What other colours we got?
green and blue.
Green and blue. So they're the 4 packet colours. Yeah?
And we've got instructions and we've got...
So we got a pipette. I think that's what you call. Little dropper. Now, is there anything else in there, Isaac?
No, but...
Or are we being kind of duped into thinking there's a lot in this box? I think we've been duped a bit, haven't we? So there's a bit of an air box here, but...
So, we've got loads of different cards.
Mm-hmm.
We're down to Adonai.
Careful, not too close. So I reckon these are movement cards, and what you do to other people's dice. I'm only guessing by this. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Anything? And then putting some salt on. So it's a game that probably we have to provide a lot of the components for, actually, don't we? By the looks of this.
I want to play it now.
So that's the main components that you get inside Cool Runnings. Yeah, we're going to go make some ice now, Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So then we'll probably come back once we made the ice. Let's look at how we play Cool Runnings. So, you're going to need to do is make some ice up. So, you do get given 8 of these little cups, and you have to put 6 millilitres of water in the cups. This is easily done because they provide you with a pipette which goes up to 3 millilitres. So 2 of these up to that line, just put it in there, will do the trick. So all you do is take it to the line and try and get it as precise as possible. You can see I've done this a few times now. And fill each. And then of course you've got to freeze them. So just make a bit of room. Make sure they stand up nice and properly. You don't want them falling over. And put them in your freezer. And let them freeze, of course, because that's the whole idea of the game. So probably leave them overnight is probably best, but seeing there's only 6 millilitres of water in there, probably about an hour, maybe 2, and they're properly frozen. And here's some I made earlier. Bit of a little frosting on top. Doesn't really matter, that'll clear up. So you've now got your ice frozen. You're also going to need some salt here in my pig salter or something like that. And you're still going to need that bowl of water for this game. So I'll put those up there. You're going to have to take these out, which is kind of a bit tricky at first. These have actually been sat out for a bit, so they actually are coming out pretty easy. And then you just stack them back in there, because it's quite cool, because if you look in there, it's got holes in there so the water can melt through and it'll catch on the bottom. So everyone's piece starts at the beginning here, And the idea of the game is to get through this track, zigzaggy track, to the finish line, passing the finish line here. Or be the last one standing that still has ice inside the piece here. Each player will get 4 cards. Then someone's picked to go first. So that player can then either play the top part of the card here for the action, or play the movement point on themselves or on someone else's piece. So basically, if I pick this card here, if I pick that card there, move 4 spaces, say I'm pink, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I've landed on that +1, which gives me an extra movement point, and I land there. This frozen piece here actually means I cannot be attacked against on an action card, which is pretty good. I've done my turn, then I would draw up back to 4 cards. Now, if it's someone else's turn, so it's their turn, instead of moving, they could play an action card, the top piece, against their opponent, which is basically they're trying to melt the opponent's ice cube to eliminate them from the game. So here we have salt. Basically, the attacking player will take a piece of salt between finger and the index and sprinkle it. Sprinkle it. There's a bit of salt on there. I don't know if you can see it, but I put some salt on there. Or if you're my kids, you'll probably just take a huge amount of salt and put some more on there. And that's it. So now that salt will start slowly melting that ice cube over time. Or there's this one, where actually they will take their opponent's, cup the piece around the hand, and then start breathing on it really heavily, and the person's piece, who it is, they will start counting to 10, but they'll be going 1 ice cube, 2 ice cube, 3 ice cube, 4 ice cube, 5 ice cube, 6 ice cube, 7 ice cube, 8 ice cube, 9 ice cube, 10 ice cube, until they get to 10 ice cube. Then the person will stop breathing on their ice cube and put it back down, which you can see just from me doing this, and I'm not even breathing on it, it's actually already starting to melt. This one here is similar, but you actually rub your finger on someone's ice cube for 10 ice cube count. This one is again another similar one. You actually hold someone's ice cube for 10 ice cube count. This one here is a little bit more tricky in a sense. You will take someone's ice cube, we'll take Pink's, and you'll dunk it, like that, dunk it in, and the person then whose ice cube it is has to fish out the ice cube, so, and then they put it back. But that wouldn't be able to happen to Pink, remember, because they're on here. No attacks can happen to people while they're on there. I'm just demonstrating for purposes. This one here, again, the bowl of water is needed. You take 3 milliliters of water into it and pick someone who's going to take the bait. It's going to pick green, and that's it. You pour water over, which means there'll be water in here. You notice, look at what the salt's done to it. Devastated it. And then there's going to be water in the bottom of that, which you can just tuck away to there. Apart from the last one here, looks like a kind of question mark wild card. It's not. It's a proper action. You take someone's ice cube and you pay a bit of, guess which hand it's in, okay? And that person either gets it right or wrong. If they get it wrong, like if they choose that hand, no, it's not there, it's in that hand, they do it again. And they keep doing it. If they get it right, they get their ice cube back. And all the while, ice cubes are melting, even doing that quickly. That ice cube melted quite a lot and my hands are cold. So as I said, You can play that on. You can play these cards on people to melt the ice cubes. They can retaliate if they have the same card. They can play it to stop it happening to them, and either deflect it back to the original attacker or deflect it back to someone else. And if that person has the same card again, they can then deflect it. It's only looking for the picture. Doesn't need to be the same number, it just needs to be the same picture. So if someone played that, then someone could deflect with this one or this one, doesn't really matter. And that's fine. And once someone cannot play a card to counteract it, that person who played the last card gets to do the attack on the supposed person. So you can actually move, and you can actually move other people's things. So if actually I played, if I played this card, I could actually play it on pink, who's not me, and move them forward onto this pink. So you can do that to other people. Okay, he's moved forward a step, but when someone lands on this space, you turn over the top card of the deck, and the person on the left of that person whose piece it is, you do that action to them. So whoever's on the left of pink will actually hold the hand in the ice cube for the count of 10 seconds. The other thing I'd probably suggest having is probably a towel handy, because yes, you're dealing with water, so water is likely to get anywhere. And that's basically how you play Cool Runnings. As I said, either one person will cross the finishing line, or there's only one person left whose piece has not melted yet. Okay, so that's how you play Cool Runnings. Here's my thoughts on, well, what my thoughts are of Cool Runnings itself. So, I'm going to go with negatives first. There's a few of them, might outweigh the positives, but let's hear out the negatives first and I'll get to the positives at the end of it. I would have liked to see more game pieces in this, more pieces, so it goes to 5 to 6 players. Felt a little bit limited at that, and it's not like you can introduce your own. So I would have liked to see it go to 5 or 6. It would have been a lot more cutthroat probably, and people picking on each other. You might have to shorten down the tracks, but 5 or 6 would have been an awesome number to go at. There was a stage where we tried to play it, and then Caitlin wanted to play as well, and so that just left me standing out. So I umpired the game. It wasn't too much of a problem, but everyone had fun that way. The other thing is not enough tracks. You just get these 5 tracks. You use the same 5 tracks. You do just randomise them where you put them out, but it is just the same 5 tracks. So I would have liked to seen a few more. A couple more tracks might be nice, really. Maybe in a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit different going on, maybe something happening, I don't know. But it seemed a little bit limited like that. The other thing I would have liked to see is when someone's on this ice space, they're not allowed to be attacked. But occasionally we forgot that was there. And you get excited with playing the action, especially kids, they get excited playing actions against mum or dad or granny, and they just want to attack them constantly. And you get to this space, you think I'm safe, and then they play a card and I'm going to play it on this piece, and they've picked up the puppet and they filled it up with water and they've played the water on top. It's like, oh, you couldn't do that because I'm in a space, and by then it's too late because you can't take that sort of thing back. Their ice is now melted a little bit more than it should have done. So having probably little coaster tokens maybe that could sit on top, or clip-on token or something like that, that can just be put on and used to just prevent that sort of mistake happening. It's a little thing. It would have been nice if they just added that in. So gone with more players, gone with those, gone with these. The other thing, component-wise, the cards are just normal cards. I thought they were going to be plastic-ish. They might have an extra bit of plastic in there, But on the first game of playing this, my boy Isaac was getting in such a mess that like his cards he was using were being put down in water and they were getting wet. Then I had to dry them off at the end of the game, and then I had to go with sleeving them. So, okay, I'm a gamer. I sleeve cards a few games. I'm not like a prolific sleever. But if I see a reason that they need to be sleeved because they're going to be manhandled a lot, I will sleeve them to protect them. In this game, it needs it. Even though it's a cheap family stylish game that you'll find in Smith's or John Lewis or something like that, if you want the cards to last more than 3-4 games, you're going to need to sleeve them. That being said, you're probably going to need a towel because of it deals with a lot of water. Water's going to get everywhere, it's going to drip everywhere. You're going to want a towel at the ready to use it. It's the only other game where you needed to bring in extra components like salt and a bowl of water, your preparation making ice. Okay, it's in the name, it's there, you're going to need to make ice. Okay, so that's the only point you're going to need to make ice. At the most, using what you get given, you're going to have about 2 games. If it's 2-player games only, you're going to have 4 games. I did contradict myself saying, well, you're going to be limited to the 2 games only, but you're measuring out 6 millilitres of water using this. You could probably get an ice cube tray and make up lots of it in one go. Pop them out, as long as they sit in here, you're fine, you're good to go. So that's not a bad thing for it. Yes, that's not a problem. As I said, this game is probably not going to be a hobby game. It's probably going to end up being a commercial game, I call it. Like the Monopoly, Pie Face, is going to be brought up by, well, it's already owned by Ravensburger, which actually do produce a few games that you see on the shelves in normal shops. So you might actually see this cropping up in the normal shops and lead into things like that. This will suffer from people being picked on. If you play against my son, all he'll want to do is do actions. He just wants to make people's life a misery. So he, like first game, he didn't move from the start position. He just kept on playing actions, and I crept over the finish line just in time. That leads to me, there's no real reason to move, really. People can just play a game. You could forget about this track and you just have your ice in front of you and people can just play cards against each other trying to melt their ice as quick as possible. Is there any fun to that? It's a laugh, it's funny. So there needs to be some kind of ruling, house ruling, I might get onto that in a minute, about what happens with that, how you can come and get over this sort of thing. The box is stupidly too big. As you can see, it only needs to be about a third, maybe between a quarter and a third of this size. Taking up space, if you're space limited already like I am, this is a bit awkward to keep storage. The other thing actually probably needed is like a token to remind people what their colours are. So you could look around the board and say, who's pink again? Oh, it's Mum. Okay, okay, who's green again? Oh, it's Caitlin. It could have just done with that. I mean, you get it with a lot of games, but in this, you kind of forget, unless you stick with the same colours all the time, then it's easy. But if you're playing with different people or different members of the family, colours are going to be mixed up, and then you'll be like, as I said, who's blue again? They're quite big. Oh, I can't touch blue because they're on that space. Who's yellow? Oh, that's Mum. Yeah, she's in the lead, I'll do that. Okay, so could have done with kind of colour indication, cards, tokens, whatever. That could have helped out a little bit. Getting on to the last thing, as I said, there's no real reason to move. If you're just going to attack people, so be it. It's a long way to get through. The only reason you probably try and move is to land on these ice spaces to protect you. But as I just read in the rules now, and I didn't realise what happened, is that when you play a card to move, you can actually play that on your own piece or other people's pieces, so you can actually effectively move someone else's piece. So you can actually move them backwards, which is why there's minus movement cards, or move them forwards. It depends how you want to do, because if I play this -3 on blue, takes them off of the ice space here and puts them on the lava space, and then we do that attack against them as well. So there's no real kind of, and it doesn't matter if everyone dies, and if everyone's ice melts, everyone else ice melts, you're the last one standing, you win. You don't even need to get off the finish line. So there either needs to be a house rule that you need to be on track first to win, or you have a elimination where the first person's ice cube melts, and then you see who's the farthest on track. Whoever's farthest on track wins the game. Instead of going for complete elimination, you just look at who's farthest on track, they win. That kind of then makes people weigh up the odds as well. How far should I try and get? Or how far should I push people back? Or do I just keep attacking? People might just be attacked over and over again because their ice cube's getting smaller, so you might want to try and alleviate that a bit by saying you only attack the person on your left, or you only attack the person that's in the lead, or things like that. But that gets into a heated debate of whether that's ethical or not. But the one thing I probably might implement is first one to be eliminated, whoever's in the lead at that point wins the race, wins the game. So that might be a better rule to have than previous said about. That's probably all my negatives I can think about this. I'm going to get to my positives. It's a good family level game. It's not in depth, it's not too hard, it's all icons, it's fun icons as well. You just need to look at them and say, oh, it's the bath, or it's breathing on it. Sometimes people might just say, oh, what's this one do again? It's, oh yeah, you rub your finger or your thumb on it for 10 seconds, or to count of 10. It's quite simple, or you just move. Really family simple stuff. It's play a card and move type of game, get to the finish line before the others do, or try and survive. So very family level, very language dependent. As you can see, there's no writing on here. The rule book covers about 4 or 5 languages, so it's very good like that. It's very simple to learn. It's not innovative. I think the only thing it's innovated is actually used a new component that is both your piece and the timing piece of this. It's something that probably people have thought of before. How can I use ice in this? Why is it not being done before? Well, one, it's a limiting factor. You've got to make the ice to play it. It's innovative the fact it's using something very simple. It's not innovative because I think it could have been developed a little bit more to give more out of it, if you know what I mean. I've already talked about my house rule. They just said, right, it's either last one standing or first one across the map. But if you've got an action, I mean, every card gives you an action to do or a movement in some form. I mean, if you can eliminate someone's ice cube, you're going to go for that option. There's no real drastic measure to not do the action if someone's low. So if you can eliminate someone, that's someone least in the game. So hi Isaac.
Hi.
Take your hand out first. Right. I've done the video for Cool Runnings already, yeah? And I thought, what's the best way to get an opinion is getting it from Isaac's point of view.
Hi.
So what are your thoughts on Cool Runnings, Isaac?
I do not know.
Well, do you like it?
Yeah.
How much do you like it?
10?
You like it by 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it like your favourite game at the minute? Yeah? What is your favourite bit about Cool Runnings?
When you get to do...
You get to melt people's ice?
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite action?
When you do... that one. forgot what it's called.
So you hold it in one hand and they have to
Yeah.
guess which hand it is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you don't like about it? Or is it too good a game to have anything you dislike?
Because everyone keeps doing it on me and I don't like it.
Is that because you keep doing it on them?
No, I don't keep doing it on them. I sometimes do.
You got a little bit stroppy the other day, didn't you, when you thought you were being picked on, but you were just... Georgia was just doing it all back to you, wasn't she? And every time she tried to play a card on you, you just played the same card back, didn't you?
Because she played it on me.
Oh, no, but that doesn't matter. That's the name of the game, isn't it? So you really like the game. It's your favourite game at the minute. Yeah? Until the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so there you go then. From Isaac's opinion... From Isaac's opinion, it's a really cool game for kids. Do you like being mean? Do you like being mean to people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just like melting people's ice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a monkey? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Isaac's view then. He's now gone a bit silly and I have to make him breakfast. The only other thing to say about this, it's actually really good fun. And I'm not just saying that because, like, the ice thing going on. I've actually had some good fun moments with this. It's not the smartest of games. It's not a brain burn. It's just outright fun. You get some ice cubes and then you're playing cards against each other. It can be very mean. And you can feel, like I said, probably already highlighted, people will feel like they're being picked on. But it's that sort of game. You've got to just accept it and accept it. You won't be able to play this with certain people. And just leave it with the kids. I mean, I could actually quite easily see this being brought out with my kids, with their friends, saying, let's play this game. It's really easy. You get some ice, either attack each other or move and get across the finish line. And I just think it would be an absolute massacre of people just trying to beat each other pieces of ice up. So, and as I said, I've even played a game where there was 5 of us and I just umpired it, and even I just had fun. Just monitoring and making sure everyone was doing each thing. It's fun. It's actually quite good fun. Don't know how long it's going to last in replayability. I can see this kind of slowly just slipping off and being forgotten about. But for the time being, and for its price actually, it's not a bad price. For the time being, when the summer starts getting hot again, this would be a cool game to have out. So that's my view of Cool Runnings from Ravensburger, and a big thanks to Meeple's Corner for donating this as a review copy to this channel. If you want to know more, find out more, check out some more of our reviews, check out devondice.co.uk, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel please, because all that helps. So I've been Joel Wright and this has been Devon Dice TV. Thank you and goodbye.